So you want to go from the awkward guy in the corner with his drinks up here to the life of the party. Let me help you with that. I'm going to go over exactly how I did it in this video. I remember for most of my life, I was too embarrassed to dance, and I also thought I just didn't enjoy dancing, or it wasn't for me. I just didn't get the point of dancing. I thought, why would anybody ever do this? Now, part of this was probably that I was young and maybe my brain was different and it didn't have the dancing wirings yet. I don't know though, babies dance. But anyways, for most of my life, I was just too embarrassed to dance. I remember the first time I ever dared to dance in front of others was at a New Year's party with my family where I just started dancing. I remember my mom was quite happy because she's always wanted me to dance a bit more. I was always the shy one, the reserved one who didn't talk much and I didn't mind talking. I wasn't too embarrassed to do that, but most of the time I'd just be silent, and I definitely would never go and dance. The thought of that more than scare me, it obviously did, because I was like, oh my God, what would other people think? It's more of I just didn't see the point in doing that. It's like, why would I? I don't enjoy it. And on top of that, I embarrass myself in front of others. So why would I ever do that? But through this evolution of going from awkward to the life of the party, I've realized that all of that is complete BS. We are literally made to dance. Not literally, but dancing, there's fucking studies done on this that show that dancing releases chemicals and dopamine and all this stuff that makes you feel good. So we are basically made to dance. So this whole idea of, oh, I don't even enjoy dancing, that's wrong. You just haven't done it, you're scared to do it, or you don't know how to, which we'll cover in this video. And I think dancing is especially important because it allows you to enlighten yourself by realizing the meaninglessness of the universe. The fact that you move your limbs around in a pointless way without any survival benefits other than social cohesion, but at this point, that doesn't even exist. The fact that you do that in a room with lights and music, these like rhythmic sounds, and you enjoy your time with others, that just shows you the absurdity of it all, which is the basis for enlightenment. Also, this part, bear with me, it sounds a bit woo-woo, but you'll get it someday. The other part of this is it allows you to see the beauty of the universe. When you dance and you truly enjoy it, which I'll talk about later, it just shows you how beautiful the universe is and how beautiful the fact that you even get to experience a single second of it is. Now, I haven't watched any other guides on how to do this, but I have a bad feeling most of them would just give you these autistic steps of, oh, just start with this dance move and then you'll feel more comfortable, and then do this other dance move and then you'll feel great. No, I won't give you that. I won't tell you do this exact thing and then everything will go away. Wear sunglasses or wear a hat because then that will change your physiology or something. No, I'm going to tell you the actual stuff that worked for me and I know works for others. So the first one, the first sort of step in this framework is to get jacked or at least build yourself up. You have to realize there is a massive difference between, like, imagine a nerd nobody particularly likes dancing and really having a good time on the dance floor. That could be cool, but most people would just find it weird or maybe funny, but not in a good way, compared to the Chad who everybody likes or admires or fears having a good time on the dance floor. You can see there's a massive difference between the two, and obviously, I mean, you could be both, but it's a lot better to be the latter. So the first one is actually build yourself up, make friends, get in better shape. You can watch the other video I made on how to do that. Those things help out tremendously. I don't know what percentage of my confidence level comes to this, but I think there's a reason I never danced until I'd been going to the gym for, by that time, by the New Year's party I told you about, I think I'd been working out for 1 or 2 years. And then the second thing is realizing that yes, people think about you. Yes, people see what you're doing. It's not that there's a lot of people who say, oh, people don't care what you do. Yes, they do. If you start flashing everybody at the party, people are obviously going to notice. They're not going to say, oh, I don't notice people. I don't look at others. No, of course they do. They're judging you. They're looking at what you're doing. But what you have to realize is they're going to forget. Yes, you can embarrass yourself at the party, and that, yes, it's going to be a big deal then, and people are going to talk about it, maybe, right? If you're still in high school or whatever, people are going to talk about it, make fun of you. The next day, 90% of people will have forgotten. Most people think about themselves, which means during the party, they might think about, oh, what are other people doing in relation to themselves? Oh, that guy really embarrassed himself over there, and let me talk about it with my friends. The next day, they've already forgotten about literally everything you did. They're just thinking about whether they looked good and the consequences of what they did last night. And within a few months, literally everything will be forgotten except for the reputation you build up. What that means is if over time you build up this sort of reputation day by day, that will be remembered in a few months because that is who you are in the eyes of others. But specifically, the one dance move you did that messed up 5 months ago, nobody remembers. The fact that you had the courage, though, that builds your reputation. The fact that the next day you made a joke that people actually appreciated for the first time because you had the courage to do so, people don't remember that specifically, but they remember, oh, this guy is courageous. He is confident. He's more of a leader. Now, what I do realize is that I sound really autistic talking about this. And if you're older and you've already moved on, well, firstly, you won't be watching this video. But I guess for the younger people, what you'll realize is that when you're younger, everything seems so important. Like the dance moves you do and how embarrassing that might be seems really important. When you go above the age of well, hopefully 16, but for most people, maybe 18, you'll just kind of stop caring. I have, to be fair, I have seen some people in their 20s still worry about it, which is a bit concerning. But the goal with this video is to basically move that point forward. So pull it towards you. That means you stop caring, you're able to dance, because it's not really about being the life of the party. That doesn't fucking matter. What does matter is being confident, being courageous, being authentic to yourself and to your desires and what you want to do, because that is what leads to a good life. What we're talking about today is, you'll notice, it's more than just being able to dance. It's being able to live a life that is true to yourself. If you're able to dance the way you want at a party, don't you also think you're more likely to approach a cute girl you see on the street that you want to talk to, or reach out to a guy for some kind of business opportunity, or join a pottery class because that's what you've always wanted to do? This is more than just dancing, right? That's one thing I want to get across, but dancing is a very concrete way, and this also helps literally with dancing if that's what you're looking for, but you'll notice it transfers to other areas of your life as well. The third thing is that, like anything, you need practice. We have this periodic Valentine's Day ball at my school, which happens every year around Valentine's Day, and I've gone there 3 times. The first time I went, I was okay with the dancing because I'd already had my New Year's moment that I told you about earlier, but the one thing I regretted was not asking out a girl to dance, because we always have this more energetic music where you dance with your friends, and then a more slow dance where you just dance with a partner. I regretted that. The second year, again, I did really well with the dancing with others. It was even better. There was a whole train that I started of just people going around, whatever. And on top of that, I asked out a girl and we danced and everything. And I got other guys to do the same because I knew I'd regretted it the first time. And then the third year was when I'd already had a girlfriend, so I couldn't dance, but with a partner, so that part didn't matter. But in terms of the group dancing, or the more hype, energetic with your friends dancing, that was better than it had been of all the years, because I was actually enjoying it. I think the previous years, the first and second year, I'd still kind of been trying to maybe impress or look cool or something. The third year, I was just enjoying myself, but it didn't have a bad effect in any way, shape, or form on the way people see me. If anything, it had a very positive impact. So what you have to realize is that you can't go from the shy guy in the corner who never dances to the guy in the middle of the dance floor, in the middle of the circle that's formed in I don't know what it's called, but when people form a circle and someone goes in the middle and does whatever, you can't do that. But what you can do is you start in the corner without moving, just sitting with your cup like that. Then you move to little dance moves with your group of friends. Then you become more of the leader of your group of friends. Then you exit the group and start dancing with other people. And then you become the life of the party, right? It's this evolution. And already you need at least 5 separate opportunities to sort of level up in the skill of being more uninhibited with what you do and just doing what you want. 5 is optimistic. You go from awkward to life of the party. You're probably going to need a few parties between each of these levels, right? You might start with the cup. The second one, you stand with your cup for most of the night, but you do a few dance moves and you realize, oh shit, nobody's actually looking at me. I can do more. No, but I didn't embarrass myself. It's not the end of the world. Then the third one, you do a bit more for maybe 10 minutes and then you stop because something bad happened. But then the next day you think back and you realize, well, nothing actually happened, or like it wasn't that bad. And on until eventually you get to your desired level of disinhibition. And something else that could help you is that most people are just shy and need someone to invite them to dance, and you want to be that guy. Like, would you not wish when you were at a party and just standing in the corner, wouldn't you wish that someone came up to you and just invited you to dance? A guy, it doesn't have to be a girl or the same sex, it doesn't matter who it was, but somebody just invited you to dance with them, or came up to you and just like pulled you onto the dance floor and danced with you. Wouldn't you want that to happen? You probably would, unless you're some weird autist. But you can be that guy for other people, and that's the goal. I mean, it's one thing to enjoy yourself and dance. It's so much better when you help other people go through this transformation of disinhibition. And the good thing is, if you're already disinhibited, when I say that, I mean it in the best way possible, as in, well, you do what you want, you don't care about what other people think and all the rest, you just enjoy yourself. You basically fast track other people, at least for that night. If they go to a party the next week and you're not there, they might just snap back to where they were before. But at least for that night, you can fast track them from the awkward guy in the corner with his drink up here to a pretty social, outgoing, fun guy who's having a good time. Then, as for alcohol and drugs, honestly, if you can't dance without them, I think that's kind of embarrassing. It's not the same. I could obviously tell you, oh, just drink and then it'll be so much easier. Of course it will. But that's not development. You're not growing as a person. You're literally destroying your body just to be able to do something that you should be able to do without. Maybe this is what guides tell you, like, oh, have a few drinks and then you'll feel better. Of course you will. But does that allow you to develop yourself in any way? Will that transfer over into other parts of your life? Yeah, maybe. You'll become an alcoholic because you realize, oh, this is great. I can just drink my problems away. No, you have two paths in front of you. You have a lot of paths, but let's say two paths. On the one side, you have this one where you do this stuff I told you about, and oh shit, I'm becoming more confident. It's taking longer. I can't just go overnight, like from one day to the next, awkward to life of the party. But I retain control. But I actually develop myself. It takes longer, but I grow. And it transfers into other areas of my life. Or the other option is, let me drink. That way, not only do I forget everything the next day, but I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I don't seem to care, and consequences don't seem to matter. Firstly, that's a recipe for some not very good things. But look at that. It worked. But then the next day, what happens? You're back to your normal self. You haven't changed. You haven't improved in any way. Yes, it's easy. Yes, it's fun. But it's not fulfilling. Ideally, you're able to dance without alcohol and you just don't drink. If you're able to dance without alcohol, then you can drink alcohol, and then it kind of helps you even more, but it's at that point you can already do without it. It just allows you to enjoy it more. But alcohol, wouldn't recommend. I mean, to try once, definitely. To drink on a regular basis, especially if you're young, definitely not. Yes, that's basically my stance on it, because just look into the research. There are no benefits to alcohol except as a one-off experience. That's what I would say. If you can't do it without the alcohol, that's embarrassing. It doesn't count. It's not the same. It's the equivalent of getting in an autonomous car, like a Tesla or something, going from your house to school and then saying, oh, look at that, guys, I can drive. No, you can kind of get from point A to point B. You haven't learned how to drive. If I put you in a stick shift, an old Honda, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't get from anywhere to anywhere else. You'd just be stuck there. And as for how to actually dance, like how to actually move your body, I'm not going to give you autistic, like, oh, do this dance move and it works really well. There's three things. You want to feel the music. You can literally close your eyes and just feel the music, feel the rhythm. Go with friends and enjoy yourself. Just do what feels good. You'll find that some kind of movement feels good. Just do that for a bit and then it gets boring. Do something else. Just do what you want to do. You'll literally, the way it's going to work is when you feel the music and you're with your friends, in your mind's eye, you will see some movement, right? You will see you moving your hands in some way. The old you would think, oh, I can't do that. That's too embarrassing. The one who's actually confident, the life of the party, would start doing that, and then, oh, look at that, everybody else starts doing it too. You will literally have this moment, if you build yourself up to this level, where you do a dance move, and suddenly everybody is doing that dance move. And when you do that, the confidence boost you can get from that is immense, but it also shows you most people just don't know what they're doing, and they're looking for somebody else to copy. There's a lot of lessons in that, but that's the main three things. Feel the music, go with friends, because friends make you feel less alone if you're surrounded by others who you like and trust you in return. But preferably, if you're trying to go on this transformation, don't go with nerd friends who stand in the corner, because then if you go out, they'll try to pull you back, especially if they're worse friends. Go with actually outgoing people who can already dance or who are higher up on this like skill level than you are. You don't need to go with the life of the party guy, but if you stand in the corner, if that's what all you do, go with a guy who dances a little, who just moves a tiny bit with the music. If you do that, then go with the guy who goes into other social circles and dances with those people. You want to hang out up. That means you go out with the people who are slightly higher than you on the skill level of being able to dance, let's say. So those are how to actually dance, and then long term, just build yourself up. Build your physique, build your confidence, just self-improvement in general. That's always the answer. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.